Oh, all right, so I'm absolutely shattered today, and that just means I'm really tired. I feel like that might not be what that means, but that's the word I use to describe when I'm this level of exhausted. I got about 4 hours sleep last night. I've woken up at 4 a.m. the last 4 days in a row. I've been editing videos nonstop for the last 4 days, and when I'm not doing that, I'm streaming. It's only 3 p.m. right now, and I'm gonna be awake until at least 1 o'clock in the morning seeing what is going to end up being a terrible movie so that I can make an Aquaman review that's gonna get minimal views. And that is the life I'm living. But I came across a topic, somebody shared it in my Discord, that kind of aligns a lot with things that I've talked about in the past, things that I want to continue talking about in the future, because it seems like every single week, sometimes even every single day, there's some new weird issue on YouTube where channels get taken down, or there's, weird abuse of the copyright system, or there's like DMCA takedowns in situations where there shouldn't be. And people are just fighting for their basic general rights on the platform, whereas like larger companies are just taking advantage of the situation. Though I will say some of the channels that have been pulled are for proper reasons, like there's all those channels that were like, it was supposed to be like family friendly channels, but it was actually like lewd content. So that's a whole different story that if you want me to talk about, I can, but I really ended up wanting to talk about this. There might be more information by the time this video gets uploaded. I'm recording this on a Thursday, and this is either going out tomorrow or Saturday, depending on when I can upload. I'm going back home for the holidays, and my parents have terrible internet. But we're gonna be talking about the situation involving Eroktic, who is a YouTuber, and Battlestate Games, who are the developers of a game called Escape From Tarkov, which Eroktic was a major, content creator for. He streamed the game a lot, he made tons of different videos about it, and he also did kind of like different news things involving the game itself. And that unfortunately put him under the eye of Battlestate Games. And just before we get into this current situation, I've heard a lot of terrible things about Battlestate Games, from giving people early access to the game, and then when they complained about it and pointed out a lot of the issues that it had, revoking their access to it before it went fully live, flat out ignoring major criticism, lying about patches and updates that are gonna happen. So just another one of those like really bad game developers, but just very bad. So basically, Eroktic ended up making a video because someone came forward to him saying that he had managed to exploit a vulnerability in the game that gave him access to 1.9 million different users' passwords and account names and all sorts of stuff like that. Now, I can't watch the original video because it's been taken down for reasons I will get into explaining. But basically, according to the source who went forward to Eroktic, he tried contacting Battlestate Games separately. They ignored him, so eventually he elevated the situation to someone like Eroktic, who has a larger stake in the community, who then started warning people to change their passwords, and then it ended up getting stickied on their subreddit. At some point, Battlestate ended up issuing a response over Twitter saying that, hey, there's no vulnerability there, there's no exploit, the situation's fine. And then instead of reaching out to Eroktic just separately, being like, hey, like, here's proof that like what you're saying isn't actually true, can you please take down the videos, or even like not even offering proof, just do a cease and desist, just anything like that. There are numerous like legal things you have at your disposal if you genuinely think somebody is lying about your company or misrepresenting something in your company in a way that you think could be damaging to you. But what they did next is not how you do it. What they did next was abuse the DMCA takedown option, which is only supposed to be used in situations where copyrighted content has been violated. And seeing as Battlestate Games does not give a damn about people promoting their games, they're constantly retweeting compilations and just different things like that, promoting different streamers. Like, they definitely want people playing their game. They just don't want people saying anything bad about their game. And fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you see it, that's not how the world works. You can't just block out anything negative that goes on out there and then just leave all the positive stuff up. You gotta go one way or the other. You gotta be Nintendo. You gotta be like, hey, you can be an approved creator, or otherwise we are striking every single one of your videos, which luckily apparently they've just stopped doing, which was very smart of them. But if you're not gonna fully commit in that direction, you can't just start abusing this situation now. So the reason why they took the video down had nothing to do with the copyright. It was 100% to do with the contents of the video. And again, instead of reaching out to him separately to try to talk to him, they just issued this strike. And not only that one, they issued 10. And for those of you who don't know how the YouTube system works, it only takes 3 valid copyright strikes on your channel to have your channel entirely terminated. Just 3 strikes, either of a community guideline variance or extreme copyright violations, and your channel is done. So this guy had lost access to his channel, and I guess they went on to apparently strike 47 of his videos. It's like someone just sat there, just Googled his name and looked up every single video he had about Escape from Tarkov and was like, no, which you can't do. If anything, it got to the point that they were harassing him. Now, as of recording this video, they had removed pretty much all of those strikes except for 2. So he's got 2 right now. So he currently still has access to his channel. They took down the 2 that specifically mentioned the vulnerability and the exploit. But again, the DMCA takedown option is not to be used in this kind of situation. They could have gone for a cease and desist. They could have actually tried to take him to court if they genuinely thought he was lying to the degree that it was going to tarnish their reputation. Instead, they went with the tried and true method of abusing the copyright system, which, like, everyone, that's the hot thing right now. UMG is just striking people for, like, having the name of songs in their video. Like, not even parts of the song, just the name of the song in the title. So, like, that's the world we're living in right now. So they went that direction and just started doing strikes and copyright violations against this dude. And the way YouTube works is that they don't really get themselves involved in these disputes. All this larger company has to do is say, we own that, and they usually win, even if they have no real claim for it, even if everything he's doing is operating under. So what I was linked to was their original response. So let's go have a look here. So they even said further comments on the Eroktic situation. So honestly, they already violated like the #1 rule of the internet. If you don't want people to know about something, don't do this. If you wanted to try to keep that whole situation under wraps and stop people from knowing about it, the last thing you should have been doing was trying to silence one of the largest voices in your community. You should have just reached out to him separately, tried to explain how like what was being said wasn't actually true, and then, you know, just stick with the like, if we always recommend people change their passwords regularly and enable 2-factor verification. Like, just give that kind of standard response, and this whole thing probably would have just been swept under the rug. But no, they had to go to these lengths, mess with this guy's channel that much, and then publicly talk about it. So let's read this. Dear users, recent events related to restriction of access to the videos of the Eroktic, which were published on a YouTube channel, caused a wide response from users of the Escape From Tarkov project. First of all, we would like to note that your opinion on Escape From Tarkov is extremely important to us, and that is what we were guided by in our actions. The idea that false information should not influence your opinion. Unfortunately, all the information in recent videos of specified streamer was no more than deliberate slander, accusing the developers of inability to preserve the confidentiality of user data. We make every possible effort to maintain the confidentiality information entrusted to us by users, but also to maintain the most comfortable environment for communication in our community, and that is the exact reason why we believe that restricting access to the Eroktic's videos was a necessary measure. Again, you just admitted to issuing a false takedown. You literally just admitted to violating copyright law. Good job. A measure that we have taken quickly and decisively because the best interest of our users had been affected. If the best interest of your users was what you had in mind, you would have taken the time to talk to him, explained to him how it was incorrect, and then reassured your users that it was fine. And honestly, if you had taken the time to talk to him and explain that to him, he probably would have issued a retraction video. He might have taken the video down on his own. He probably would have made another video being like, look guys, I talked to the guys at Battlestate Games. Everything's good. However, we would specifically like to point out that we have restricted access only to project-related videos that did contain violations, while the rest of the Escape From Tarkov videos remain on Eroktic's YouTube channel. So they're like, okay, after some reconsideration, we're only gonna go after the videos that specifically mention this situation. We're just gonna ignore the fact that we wrongfully claimed every single other one of these videos with takedown notices. We're so amazing! Right now, we are thoroughly monitoring the videos that featured one or multiple facts of false representation, provocation, or law violation. As the result of this monitoring, we will make the final decision in each particular video. The strike will remain or be removed. We understand your negative attitude regarding the situation, but we urge you to take a comprehensive approach to its assessment before moving on to a new wave of accusations. You literally just admitted to making false claims on someone's videos because you didn't like what they were saying. You have proper legal channels to go at people you believe are lying about you or spreading misinformation, and you chose to go with the copyright direction when you had no real reason to. And just having a quick look at the comments in a couple different places, you got people saying the same thing as me. So you admit you illegally lodged DCMA complaint 44 times. Apparently it was 47 according to Eroktic. Top comment on Twitter, it's funny a company enforcing copyright laws while violating copyright laws themselves. You even have people that are fans of their games, so it's like, hi, copyright lawyer here and huge fan of your game. YouTube's DMCA strike feature is not meant to counter libel or slander or defamation. It's meant as a means for copyright holders to enforce their copyright. Eroktic's videos do not infringe on your copyright. Nowhere does he claim he owns the product, your game, and it is not illegal to film or stream its content. Fair use. And then if anybody wants to do the thing like, well, technically they can say that they don't want anybody to play certain games. Again, you cannot just say, that one guy? Fuck that one guy. You gotta go full force like Nintendo, or it's open to everyone regardless of what they want to say. When you put something out there in the world, you kind of have to expect that people are gonna shit on it because not everybody's gonna like everything. So at the end of the day, this is exactly what you don't do when you're a company. I understand that when you're kind of like a small developer and you're trying to build up a game, any kind of like blood in the water, you want to act fast, you want to try to shut it down. But this is an exact example of how not to do that, because you've now pissed off your community, you've alienated the people who are actually willing to play your game, you've further upset the people that had already been pushed away from your game for various failures on your part before, and your game's not really like a Fortnite that's gonna bring in a bunch of new people, so you've kind of really cut yourself off at the legs. So yeah, this was basically just a gross, over-the-top reaction to somebody making a video that honestly, maybe it was a lie. Maybe there was no security error, but you've now created a situation where everybody thinks that there probably still was a security issue in your game, and now they're also pissed off at you because you've shown exactly how much you care about some of your most dedicated players. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments section down below. YouTube has been crazy lately with all these different like takedown stories, and it seems like it's like this never-ending revolving door, but I've never seen somebody admit to doing it to this capacity and then to try to explain it away in a way that made them seem like good. It's like we've decided we've like, you know, we're gonna let the stuff that's just not involving the situation go because we're good people. We're gonna leave those videos alone, you know, the ones where he's been like, you know, promoting our product for years. God, imagine how just disconnected you have to be. Anyways, that is gonna do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you don't follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, all of those links are down below. I know some people are having issues with Patreon. I know there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on with Patreon right now, so I am kind of potentially exploring some different options. As of right now, it is the most reliable and trustworthy thing that I have access to. So if you're into that, you can feel free to support down below. But yeah, as always, thank you all so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all later.